What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Acer Studio, and today we're here in Photoshop and we will be doing some retouching tutorial for you guys. Alright, so this photo, I have an aim. I want to just change the photo and correct the color profile of the two model in the screen. It's a beautiful photo, but let's get started. First thing first, let's try and use white balance, but this time around I'm going to use the divide tool. I've made a video already using the solid color and the divide blending mode to actually use it as a white balance to get your color the way it should be. Alright, so let me teach you how to do that. First of all, create a solid layer, turn it off, double click on whatever color that is already there, and then select a place that needs to be white, in this case our eyes, and let's take it up. And now turn it on, change the blending mode. Be ready, it can be very exposed, but just change the color right away. Alright, so now you can actually increase it, and then boom, you have the color you should have, the real color, compared to this one which there's red in it. Okay, so now you can start making adjustments. I can go back and then choose the exposure and increase the gamma just a bit to create more, reduce the highlight. Okay, so we can see, let's close that and then see the before then the after, just a little bit off, decrease in the exposure. Alright, so next thing we're going to do, create a stamp visible layer, and then we're going to go, alright, so create a stamp visible layer. I'm going to group this one and this one, turn it on. I'm going to group it together, and then I'm going to turn it off. Alright, so we are here, from here to here. Now next thing first, we can actually do some frequency separation, but I'm just going to go and do that very quickly. So Ctrl J, and then name this one color. You can skip this step, name this one texture. So color layer, turn this one off, filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and then I'm going to increase it just to when I get something like this. Okay, come to this one, I'm going to turn it on, go to image, apply image, and then I'm going to click there, click on color, subtract, that's the blending mode to 128, click on OK, and then change the blending mode to linear light, and then boom, we're back. So let's adjust click on this clone stamp tool, and let's adjust some blemishes. Alright, so I'm done with the frequency separation, and we can group the two layers together, and you can see the before and after. Let's turn this layer on. You can see just the changes in the frequency separation. Alright, so now create a stamp visible layer, just to be sure I'm recording. I like to see. Alright, now let's create a stamp visible layer back to where we were, and then we're going to go to the camera raw filter, and I don't think it's actually necessary to even go there, but let's see. These are okay. Let's go to the camera raw filter, camera raw. Alright, so here we are in camera raw filter. Just a few steps we're going to do. Let's click on the white balance tool again, and then we're going to sample somewhere from my eyes. Let's see here, do the trick. Alright, so now I've sampled. You can see a short and custom, just a little bit different, but I like it the way it is. Alright, so now we're going to bring down the shadows to create more depth in the photo, just like so, not too much. And the blacks, I'm going to bring it down a bit to have something like this. We can actually increase the highlight and bring down the black with the whites till we have something like this. Okay, so if you want to increase the texture, I feel I have more texture already, because increasing the texture, you see that it brings more, but I'm just going to leave it like that, 0. I want to go to the HSL, which is a color mixer HSL. Alright, here we are in the HSL. First of all, let's decrease the reds, because I feel there's so much red, and we can leave the yellows, the orange, I mean to say. You can bring down the yellows, and I like the photo just the way it is. Now you can go to the hue, and the oranges I'm going to change it towards the yellow side, and the red I'm going to leave it like that. Also the yellows I'm going to take it towards the yellow too. So we have something like that. If there's any green, I don't think there's green. Okay, so for the luminance, let's bring down the luminance of the oranges. Alright, so we have something like that, and we can take up that of the yellows. If there be the reds, we can take it up for the reds to make the leaf pop out the more. Alright, so let's take this one, and the last place we're going to go to is the calibration. It's a fair skin, so prime colors to the front, or something like this, blue colors to the back. Now we have something like this. This is too much, that's too much, so we'll bring down 14, you can gauge it the same place, and then we can mess around with the green to see where it's actually looking okay. So I'm going to leave it somewhere there. Let's increase the saturation of that, or decrease the saturation. I'm going to decrease the saturation, and we can see the before and after, just a little bit change. I'm going to click OK, and we are going to go to calibrate the photo. I'm going to use color balance. Now it's actually rounding it up for us, and we have this. So this is before, and then this is after. So one more step, color balance. Which one of my best tool? I want to color grade the photo, and I'm starting with the shadows, and I want to add a little bit of blues to it, and let's add in some magenta, and let's look for the sweet spot for this one. I don't think the red will make sense, but just to have it in a place, yeah, but the red, no. So I'm going to take it to the back right here, or we can just, let's take it to the back right here. Looks like a sweet spot, so I'm going to put it at 10, 0, enter, and we can go to the highlight, and the same thing, add some blues, and then some magenta, but not too much, yeah, -2. Let's decrease the red also. Okay, let's leave the red at 0 at this spot. I'm gonna go to the midtones, and things look a little bit more stunning here. Adding some red, leaving the rest. You can also add some red in the midtones, and we have this. So let's see before and then after color grading. Alright, so this is where I'm going to stop the video, and if you feel like you need more sharpening, or you want to use some LUT, you can actually go far and then try to edit the more, but I'm going to stop here. And then this is just a little bit of workflow of how I edit my photo. Alright, so we can actually do something more. I just think about it, which is a selective color, and I'm going to go to the reds, and oh yeah, I think I need to add the saturation. It's hue and saturation, I mean. Let's delete that, add hue and saturation. Now we're going to go to the reds, and let's saturate the reds, but I want that on their lips only, so I'm going to max that. Let's select the mask, Control I, and then take our brush, and then I'm going to paint on the lips like so, and also on our lips like so. And if that's too much, I can also bring up this reds, and if she also have some red, so something like this. And if you feel like it's actually too much, okay, feel like it's actually too much, you can decrease the opacity a bit. Let's leave it at 50, and boom, so we're done. So if you enjoy the video, you found it helpful, you can actually subscribe to the channel. I'm going to increase it up a bit because I feel like I just looked away and I feel we need some of it. Alright, okay, so see you in our next video. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. Once again, this is ASAR Studio.